Hey, what's up, friends? I was thinking it would be fun to kind of go through my patch from last night at LADLE NiGHT. So I'm just kind of queuing it back up a little bit, had everything turned down. Kind of get all those sounds going. All right, let's see what was going on. Cool. Recording 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, now you can hear me. Fun. All right. I'm just kind of going to do a little rundown of my patch from last night at LADLE NiGHT. I'm pretty stoked about how it sounds, and I completely redid my synth. So, let me show you guys what I got here. Alright, so, first of all, I took all of my sound modules, like all my in-out stuff, and it had been up in this corner here, and I moved it down here, and now it's like super close to my mixer, and I keep my mixer at SOLARC right here. So now instead of having like 6-foot cables wrapping around my synth, I've got this, which is fun. Yeah, and so then I took all of my effects modules, which had also been up here, and I put them here, which is really exciting because now if I only want to use my effects modules and my samplers, they're all in one case, so I can take this with me and just do stuff with this, which I could do a lot, and it would be really fun. So anyways, I moved all my oscillators, all of my, I have all my oscillators up here. What else? And I moved the bloom up here, which is way easier to use now. And then just like all the quad stuff is down here, and if you notice, it's just like there's so many cables that I just have to leave plugged in. So I'm not like blocking my fingers to get to anything, because all the knobs I need are right here, right? My one knob to control them all. The dope for A1054. I feel like everybody who ever wants to think about playing in quad should get one of these. Got my drum up here. These little guys were so stuck and hidden I couldn't even get to them. So now they're not hidden. I got my physical modeling modules together. Yeah. All right, so let's talk about what the heck is going on. And I was just doing this. I was like, oh, this would be kind of fun to share. So first, let's take out the reverb. That's a Versio, but I'm using it as Desmodus. It's the Imitor, but I'm using it with the Desmodus firmware. This is the Nautilus. It's doing all the delay effects. Cut that out. Turn some of these bad boys down a little bit. All right, so I'm going to turn off all. So in this quad mixer, I have generate 3s in 1. My TSL is in 2. My variable waveform generator, is in these 2, and the TSL is in here. Oh yeah, and then I have Morphogene playing back a tape loop that I recorded last night. Cut that out. All right, so now we're just hearing the synth modules. So I'm going to pull out this and this and this. So now I've got just my physical modeling modules. And one of the fun things I like doing with the physical modeling is even though they have their own built-in VCAs, I always like running them through external VCAs, because then you can use the triggers on them to get different envelopes, as opposed to like if we listen now, right, you're always going to hear the attack, and it just helps soften it when you have all this repetitive music. It just changes the something like this could possibly get very repetitive, but because the envelope is going, it changes the attack every time, because so I'm a fan of that. So that's this one, and that's the pluck, and I'm doing the same exact thing. It has channel 1 of maths. Right now it's literally just quarter notes or eighth notes, whatever you want to call them. I don't know what the tempo is. Right, so now it's got this kind of swelling thing going on, and it's taking something that's very repetitive and making it not repetitive. So let's turn this all the way up. There we go. I had the filter down on everything, so yeah. Turn that down. There we go. Literally, you can really hear everything now. And so these are both channel blue, channel green in bloom, right? One and two. 3 is going to the Instro TSL. I just have to do that because look how close they are. Come on. Look at those little cables. The best thing about reorganizing this is I don't have long cables kind of creating a webbing across everything. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm stoked about that. That's for sure. All right, so let's pull those out. Bye-bye strings. Hello TSL. And this is fun for me because a lot of this stuff, this was not how I started out last night. And so it's fun for me to like really hear everything going on. So TSL's triangle output. Woo. Right, just that little turn. So I had it down pretty low. So then I have it going into the ATC. Just kind of being real simple. Oh, it has a its CV out from the bloom is going in here, so the filter cutoff is being controlled by the CV lane of bloom channel 3. This one. It's hard to tell when they're the red one. Boom. All right, so then this is what all 3 channels of bloom sound like together. And that's just a fun little it's alright, it sounds cool, and I was just kind of like twisting bloom, turning things off and on to kind of get this sequence going. They're all in C major, and so that's kind of what I did here. With little effects, just these things. And then the other thing that's happening is these two go to their own separate left and right output in my quad mixer, the Aeolus mixer, but they all go, but left and right is the it's like both speakers on the left front and back, and right is both speakers on the right front and back. But then the TSL is also going into Aeolus seeds, which is giving it a slow little spin-a-rooney. That's a little faster spin. You can really hear it with the effects off. So that's just dancing around for us. Is it? Yeah, it's definitely dancing. Alright, so anyways, so that's what we got there. Now, channel 3 is only going to the TSL. But I multed channels 1 and 2. So their CV, their pitch and their gate are both going also to the Generate 3 and the variable waveform generator. And so this is super fun because now I have duplicate sequences going to different oscillators. And so I just took the Generate 3 out. I've got 2 outputs of the waveform generator. All of these different ones. I have a mix of the sine, sawtooth, and triangle going into this Manhattan analog mixer, which is great. And then the square wave is going to its own separate output. So in the back, I've got these 3, a mix of these 3. And then front and in the left, I have the square wave right here. And so we can listen to those separately. Now this one, it's only, there we go. It's only getting triggered when it gets a trigger from the steppy. And then the front left only is getting triggered by the bloom. Like that. And so, yeah, so that's what's happening there. So then you put them together. And even though they're sharing the same pitch information, because they have separate gates and different envelopes, and especially if I turn it feels like something different because it feels like 2 sequences even though it's 1 because they're getting separate gates at separate times. All right. So then the fun thing is this is paired with the pluck. Oh no, sorry. Paired with the resonate. So you just get this very layered voice, right? I could have just hung out with just this one sequence last night, which I'm like, oh yeah, why didn't I do this? Oh well, live and learn. It's hard to resist having everything going all at once. All right. Now, pull all these bad boys out. Generate 3 is sharing the same sequence as pluck. But you see, it's like, because they have different envelopes, and I had most of this stuff for most of the night. Yeah, see, but because... Oh yeah, and the attack is being modulated by... Oh no, it's not. Oh, the decay is being modulated by this shared sucker, which is like clef Diaz, and that envelope from the Hikari. Yeah, here are these with the effects. Yeah. Everything sounds good. So let's get all three analog oscillators going together. Without the effects. Let's bring the quad spinnerini back in. Because now we're getting a nice modulation going from this slow LFO coming out of the acht. And yeah, and then you bring in the physical modeling. Right, you just get this whole, bring down the filter a little bit. Right, it just mellows out the top. It kind of brings everything together. Bring the effects back in. The effects are after the filter. Just like such a groovy, not groovy, I don't know. I'm just loving this patch right now. So then what do we do? Yeah, so that's that layer. Let's pull everything out, because the other layer, actually put it back in first. The other layer I had was this. This was probably like my third reel that I recorded yesterday. And so we'll pull everything out now, except my morphogene. Look at all those things getting pulled out. So there's actually a lot of layers going on with my morphogene. Let's see if we can hear any of them. You really never know. So one thing it's definitely doing is it's just traveling around with the Aeola seeds, is passing it around very nicely. Now, actually, if I cut the filter out, we can still hear it, because I have a separate dry mix going out of my drums and my morphogene and my squid sample, and those all go into their own separate dry channel, because you need to have the drums going on its own separate FX send out, or else you can't just have drums going in delay and reverb all the time. I mean, you could, but then you'd have the drums in reverb and delay sound, which is great, but not all the time. There's my drums. Fun thing I did is Bloom gets a little sensitive if it gets a oh, it's not Bloom. My rotating clock divider gets a little sensitive when it gets a clock right when it starts up. But that really only happens when it gets the clock from Bloom for some reason. So I'm using the Noise Tools from IntelliGel to just change to be my master clock. And then the way I can turn it off. Oops. Boom. I just flipped that little switch. This is such a great passive. It's passive, which when you get a big system, anytime you don't need to use power is great. Got a really slow tempo going because even though this is going fairly fast, not fairly, it's pretty slow too. But I'm taking oh no, it's going at the tempo. I had it at 4, divide by 4 last night. But now it's just divide by 1, aka the same tempo. So that clock is going into Morphogene. So that way I have a fairly small envelope or window of the reel right now that's getting slowly moved through with Morphogene. And then what else? Oh yeah. So I can take that out for a sec. Let me open the filter up. Take my drums out. Ultra Perk, love this thing. It never disappears. It's always like perfectly settled in the mix. It's so great. Love this thing. All right. So we've got a bunch of crazy things I did with. So I love to mult outs of audio. So I have how many? 1. Okay. So I've got 1 going to warps. So now we're only listening to what we heard before was the morph dry. And now we're hearing morph going through some different modulation. So right now I have it going into, it'll be back in a sec. Come on. There we go. Oh, there we are. Yeah, it hits the space at the end of the splice. But anyways, so this is going into my warps, and it's going into the vocoder. It doesn't really sound like vocoded anything. There we go. When it's up, it overdrives the signal, but now we can really hear I'm using the noise to do the. Can I hear anything? See, now that really sounds like a vocoder. So there's that. Vocoding with noise. Alright, pull that one out. So now I have another output going into my sisters. And I'm setting into the all, and then I'm taking the high and I'm just taking the 2. It's the high and center outputs, but it's really the band pass outputs, and it's not actual, it's not the high pass, low pass. And this is what it sounds like. I mean, that sounds cool too. But then it's sending those 2 outs into this VCA they are mixing. So you can't really pull this stuff apart when you're performing live, like, you know, but, so then I did this because these envelopes are being controlled by, let's like blast it. Gotta get sound going up. So it's just different ways, like now they're kind of open in between. It's just like subtle modulation from these VCAs to, you know, to just always, you always just want things moving however you can. It's kind of how you keep things from feeling stale when they're repetitive for long periods of time. Yeah. So then mix in the vocoder. Right, it's just a little bit. You can kind of hear the noise. I had to really crank it to hear the noise from the vocoder. And then let's bring the filter down a little bit. Bring the effects back in. And then, let's see. What is this sample, you ask? What the heck are we listening to? Let's pull the timeout. Let's make the whole thing go. It was my keyboard last night. So that's what we're listening to there, and then you speed up the you get that. And then what the heck is this? Oh, white noise. I need this to go in here now. Yeah. Bring the effects back in. I'm also just getting straight effects. Yes. It's not really hitting very hard. But the dry, so it's not doing anything because the dry signal is down. So now with the dry signal back in, bring the filter down a little bit. And then let's bring everything back in. Let's bring the strings in. Bring the TSL back in. Bring Generate 3 back in. Bring in Variable Waveform Generator back in. There you go. And that's how you ladle night. Oh. Bring in that slow drum, yeah. There you go. My neighbor's leaving the house, which means it's time to go. All right. Yeah, I don't know. It was fun pulling apart because maybe I'll make a sample pack out of this and put it out there, and then you can make your own ladle night. It's kind of like a soup mix, you know? All right. Well, if you tuned in at all, thanks for viewing. If you're tuning in afterwards, thanks for viewing later. All right, have a good one. RIP squid sample that I made and forgot to save. RIP squid sample. It's still there. That's why I used it last night, but I didn't have it. I forgot to save, so that's what happens. All right, have a good one.